Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Kumar Talks. This is Happy Fizz right here. It's not being sponsored or anything.
சரி நம்மள இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணுறோமோ இல்லையா?
So this is Abhishek Pranay Kumar and that's
ஜாஷுவா ஜெபகுமார்.
so ஒரு எபிசோட ஒரு ட்ரிங்க் குடிச்சிட்டு விளம்பரம்
எல்லாம்
ஸ்பான்சர் கூட பண்ணாங்கன்னா நல்லா காசு பார்க்கலாம் போல. சரி. So what are we going to talk about today?
அதான் ஆக்சுவலாக பார்த்தோன்னா பாஸ்ட் டூ எபிசோட்ஸோ இல்லை என்ட்ரிஸோ past two episodes again the same word keeps coming. We've been talking about certain relationships. First, love and பேசணும். Major part of entry number 0 was about love. Entry number 1 is entirely about marriage and how the society views marriage, how marriage has become, how marriage should be according to certain theories, however it is. எப்போ நம்ம பேச போகிறதும் a certain type of relationship, but that is we are moving away from the intimate aspects, from the intimate types of relationships, and moving on to something that is even not even more important, equally important, but that is platonic. So we are going to talk about obviously platonic relationships, friendships.
A major ship indeed in most of our lives.
Major ship and சொல்ல முடியாது because let's take சரி உன் life for example.
அப்போ எடுத்த உடனே இப்படி தாக்க நான் என்ன சொல்லுவேன், என் லைஃப்ல என்ன?
But I mean, I know the history, but I want you to say, have friendships been a big part of your life in the typical way?
அந்த சைல்ட்ஹுட் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் தான் சுத்து நமக்கு அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு டேஷ்
wholesome way.
அந்த ஹோல்சேம் வேலாம் இருக்குது. எவ்ரி இயர் I have a friend, he becomes my best friend, and by the end of that academic year, we parted ways. So
part ways na amicably or something
backstabs and stuff.
Okay, so it doesn't end well. So for you, friendships have always ended and they never ended well.
எனக்கு personally இந்த childhood friend like அந்த ஒரு set of friends I don't have those kind of people in my life. Either it goes out of loyalty issue or something, or someone outperforms the other person, so they can't tolerate to be with that guy. So
I think in this particular aspect of our experience, both of us have the most extreme experiences up until a certain point. So உனக்கு பார்த்தனா இயர்லி ஒரு betrayal, as you say, yearly a betrayal, yearly something happens, whatever friendship that you have had hasn't lasted. Also, the disclaimer, do you have friendships now?
Yeah, I do have friendships
so
now.
Still you have
good friendships. One or two trustworthy people, yeah, I do have. It's not like there is no.
Exactly. So you're not going to discredit them. You
Definitely
do have certainly
not.
good people.
But I do not have an expectation like it will be a long-lasting, loyal relationship. Humans change. Before that, what is platonic? Used to platonic. What is? Just explain it.
I haven't really gone much into it, but as far as I have known, it's nothing like intimacy இல்லாத ஒரு relationship. So anything that doesn't involve your lust or doesn't involve you committing yourself to a certain person as the significant other, either as a marriage or either as a boyfriend, girlfriend, or as a significant other. I feel like that is my definition for platonic relationships. So it's like, of course, platonic friendships can develop into intimate things, but that's the thing, that's the difference. I think that's the step between a friendship and a relationship. A friendship is just that you still expect the things that you expect from a significant other: loyalty, care, affection, truthfulness, all of those basic fundamentals, except that you're not expecting them to live with you, expecting them to lead their life with you, expecting them to give their body for you or whatever it is, body and soul. So that is my idea of a platonic relationship. That is what we're talking about, friendships. ஸோ உனக்கு இது என்ன பிளட்டானிக்னா இஸ் தேர் அண்ட் டிஃபரன்ஸ் ஆர் டு யூ கொலைட்?
Yeah, I do collide. So, are there any types to friendship? Can we classify it like? Even to my friend, like he's my best friend. Best friend, the bestest friend,
சைல்ட்ஹுட் ஃப்ரெண்டு,
childhood friend, college friend, tuition friend, basketball court friend.
கேட்டகரைஸ் பண்ணோன்னா இட்ஸ் லைக் acquaintances you can be like, because acquaintances are basically restricted to certain locations or certain boundaries. So அங்கே வந்து இது ஒர்க் பிளேஸ் ஃப்ரெண்டு, கொலீக் ஃப்ரெண்டு, ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் ஃப்ரெண்டு, those things come into play because they are not more than that. They are just acquaintances. You just know them related to something else. அப்படிதான், at least that's how I see acquaintances to be. And then we have the next step, which is like friend, typical friend. You know them, but you don't know them that well. You can speak to them, you're friendly, all of those things. அப்புறம் பெஸ்ட் ஃப்ரெண்டு, அப்புறம் அப்படியே இது பிளட் பிரதர்ஸ், அப்படியே கவர்னன்ட் அந்த மாதிரிலாம் ஆரம்பிக்கும். ஸோ ஒன்று இன்டென்சிட்டி வைஸ் யூ கேன் கேட்டகரைஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். அண்ட் அதர் திங்ஸ் இஸ் டைப் வைஸ். ஒன்று வந்து ஜெண்டர் வைஸ் சொல்லலாம். யூ ஹாவ் மேல் ஃப்ரெண்ட், இது ஃபார் அஸ் மேல் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் ஃபீமேல் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். ஸோ சேம் ஜெண்டர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் இது ஆப்போசிட் ஜெண்டர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். And is of course based upon your sexuality, the platonicness becomes the more implied, more obvious in those kind of the friendships. Of course, if you're gay, it's the same sex. If you're straight, it's the opposite sex friends. Oda and the platonic state எப்படி இருக்குன்னு மெயின்டைன் பண்ணுறது, அது ஒரு ஆஸ்பெக்டாக வரும். Either way, that's how I would differentiate friends. Categorize friends.
It's a nice categorization.
But how would you describe yourself as a friend? At least how do you expect other people to describe you as a friend?
I have a set of boundaries with different people in different domains of my life. So even if it's a very close friend, they don't know it's up to a certain extent. With some people, it's more than any extent. So true friend is like, what I feel is personally to me is like, it's not like there should be a list of prerequisites, but it should be, they should support you, not like disown your times of struggle. Supporting in the sense, it should be in a progressive way, not always giving a fake positive thing. Like in case if you are a fat sloth or like a couch potato sitting at home all the time, and people make fun of you saying you're a fat fuck, and that friend comes to you and supports you saying, பரவாயில்ல விடுறா விடிடி, அவங்க சொல்லிட்டு போட்டோம், accept you for the way you were. Instead of telling like that and advising them, you should actually tell them to start losing weight or work towards or strive for a healthy lifestyle, which is actually beneficial for that person. ஓவராக பாசிட்டிவாக இருந்த தப்பாக ஏதாச்சும் சொன்னால் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் டிசால்வ் ஆகிடும் ஒரு பயத்தில். அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறது வந்து எனக்கு வச்சுருக்கோம் ஒரு ட்ரூ ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப்பே இல்லை. அவங்க இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆகணும் லைஃப்பில், அதுக்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ணணும்.
So you're ready to make other people, I mean like not other people, your friends feel uncomfortable.
Definitely. There should be times when things get uncomfortable. If it's comfortable all the time, I don't think that's like a real care or a true friendship. மோசமாக கெட்டது பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா இங்கே கெட்டது பண்ணுறேன்னு தனியாக கூட்ட சொல்லணும். லைக் நாட் இன் ஃப்ரண்ட் ஆஃப் thousands of people or hundreds of people. Like it's do or die, be with me at all times. If I do something wrong, correct me personally. Don't try to create a drama in public. Like I have seen that in your life also. Like, most of your friendships are like in a public drama. ஒரு ஷோ மாதிரி தான் நடந்துச்சு. ஸோ
அதுதான். ஸோ up until a certain point in my past, I was a different kind of a friend for many people, and now I think whatever friendships I have right now, I take a different stance on it. Munnala, I was more or less the kind of person that you say you shouldn't be, like
unconditional
positivity or standing up for even like not even confronting them for their own mistakes. Like some of my other friends,
Ex-friends.
their friends or the ex-friends, friends in the past, they literally would have cheated on their girlfriends.
Oh.
And then we would have the audacity to laugh it off, to actually hear the story with, interest instead of being disgusted by it.
Or even help
So that
them
is
to
a
hide.
clear example of me supporting whatever they are doing because they are friends. Instead of confronting their mistakes, instead of making them better people, I just stick with whatever they have, and instead of trying to make them be a better person, I'm just you know validating whatever they are do whatever they did, because that's how I was as a friend back then. It wasn't out of a fear of losing a friendship. So I wasn't the type of person who is stuck to a friendship so much that I became desperate. I never was that kind of person. So that isn't the reason why I validated them. I think I never had the interest of confronting my friends. But right now, I'm a different person. If you're a friend with me right now, I hope you expect to be uncomfortable in certain points of time, because if I find something that you actually have to change for your betterment, or if I find some flaw that you actually have to change because you have to grow, because I want to see you grow, I will make it a point. I will make it a point of confrontation in the near future. So that is how I am as a friend right now, I would say. But yeah, to get to that point, many things have happened. So I mean, you said you have faced betrayals all through your life. I faced my share of the things all at once very recently. So, but then again, that's the thing. Some people get too attached to friendships and even relationships in general. When I had my share of problems with my friends in the past, of the past, I don't think I reacted very dramatically. I don't know. I don't know how you perceived it, but I didn't take it very much to heart. I mean, it dissolved at a point, like decades long friendships dissolved at a point, and I was angry because of the disloyalty that was shown, the lack of trust that was shown. But otherwise, I wasn't sad that it was lost. In a way, I was relieved that it was lost, because they were a burden at that point, because they weren't being true friends. So that's how I feel about my past friendships. So about your either betrayals, your past friendships, we can say. So how do you feel about it? Do you feel sad that they are lost, or do you blame them, or do you blame yourself?
Don't blame any of them if you ask me particularly.
Hmm.
I'm just 20 now, maybe 21 years. So
Hmm.
டீனேஜ் ஏஜ்ல நடந்ததெல்லாம் வச்சு பேச முடியாது. Everyone was immature back then, hormones, trying to be part of the pack. So no one is to be blamed, neither them or me. But
Hmm.
now if we take at the current generation, look at the present, like there is a very trending term always, like the toxic friendships. So what do you think about those stuff? Is it toxic friendships? ஏன் டாக்ஸிக் ஃப்ரெண்ட் நீ ஒரு டாக்ஸிக் ஃப்ரெண்டா அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. எந்த டைமில் அந்த மாதிரி சொல்கிறாங்க? ஏன் அந்த மாதிரிலாம் நடக்குது? என்ன இருக்குது அந்த மாதிரி?
I think one thing that we have already discussed in detail is how, validating everything that another person does. For me, at least, that's a toxic friendship, or at least a fake friend. Otherwise, it's, the other kinds of things. Fair weather friends. Fair weather as in, they will stick with you when times are good, and when times are tough, they will they become turncoats, and they will put the blame on you. When confrontation happens, they will never take the blame. All of that happens. So similar to a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, all the problems that a toxic girlfriend or boyfriend can bring to the table, a toxic friend can also bring. So that's why I said this is of an equal stature equal status. A friendship is as important as an intimate relationship, at least a good friendship. So if you're stuck with a person who's toxic, manipulative, who's only using you for your, let's say, the whatever aspect it may be, money or care or your ability to help them when their needs arise, I would say those are the type of toxic friends that one should avoid. Like, at least at the bare minimum, if you assess a friendship and if they don't even stick with you during a single hardship in your life, then I don't think they deserve to be in your life any longer as a friend.
Hmm.
That's how I would say, toxic friendships to be. Yeah, if you can add on anything on it, you're free to listen.
I personally feel like most of these stuffs are influenced a lot by the movie cultures. Like படத்துல காட்டுற மாதிரியே ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் இருக்கணும், அந்த டிப்பிக்கலா சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து காலேஜில் இருந்த பொண்ணை பார்த்தா இந்த மாதிரி ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப். ஸோ படத்துல ரொம்ப ஒரு ஸ்டிக்மடைஸ் பண்ணி இவன் என்ன பண்ணாலும் கூட இருப்பான், நான் வந்து ஆரியா சந்தானம் மாதிரி ஒன்று எல்லாம் முதுகுல குத்திடுவான், அது ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப். ஸோ மூவிஸை பார்த்து தான் நிறைய இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் ஆகிற மாதிரி ஐ ஃபீல் இந்த விஷயத்துல.
Yeah, I don't think people have explored that as much because it's very easy to,
No, they see a character in that movie and they expect someone to be in their life playing the same role. They finally see some person like பக்கத்து பெஞ்சில் இருக்கிறவங்களோ இல்லைப்பா ஒரே பேட்ச்ல ஏதோ இது இவங்கள தான் இருப்பாங்கன்னு ஒரு எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷனோட போகும்போது they think they will fit in that role. அப்புறமா they think to themselves, okay, they are playing this role in my life. ஓகே, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கடைசியில் அது இல்லாத போது ஒரு டிசப்பாயின்மெண்ட்ல போய் முடியுது.
Correct. It's like, that's what I was coming to say. Love and intimate relationships in movies have been scrutinized all since movies have been there, since any type of media has been there. Yeah, since the beginning of entertainment. Friendships, on the other hand, I don't think we, at least in my perspective, as far as I've seen, I don't think people scrutinize the friendships that are being shown in movies. I feel like in certain aspects, they can be overhyped or hyperbolic in nature. But in reality, those kinds of friendships are very rare to find, first of all. And you can't expect that kind of the friendship with everyone, as you said. Just because you see there's friendships in certain media, the content, or you hear about certain friendships about that other people have, you expect the same from your the circle, but that won't be the case most of the time. So you're setting yourself up for failure and disappointment. So ultimately, it comes to the question, what exactly is a good friend to you? Is it just about loyalty? Is it just about being do or die? What else? What else would you, because you said there's some friends you would go to certain extents and some friends there is no extent. So what is the demarcation? So where does it change from just being either she's a friend or he's a friend to she's my friend, he's my friend?
I demarcated mostly based on how mutual it would be. If I'm gonna step into the ocean for them, if I know that they're the type of person who would step in the ocean for me as well, or in the dirty puddle for me, like I don't expect them to do, but if they have that much of an audacity, or if they have that much of capacity, or like fear of being non-judgment, fear of not being judged by others, if they can actually hold my hand and uplift, then yeah, certainly it would be. So I feel like friendships are not just to uplift us all the time, but sometimes there are friends who just listen to the opponent, like other person's conversation, or when they went out or something, rant and stuff. So எமோஷனலாக சப்போர்ட்டிவாக இருக்கிறதுக்கும் ஃப்ரெண்டாக இருக்காங்க, மெட்டீரியலிஸ்டிக்காக சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கும் இருக்காங்க. எல்லாம் ஒரு கட்டத்துக்கு மேலே அவங்க பர்சனல் லைஃப் அவங்க பார்க்க போயிட்டாங்கன்னா, லைக் திங்ஸ் மூவ். லைக் 5th தான் க்ளோஸாக இருக்கான், 10th ஓகே வி கோ டு டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஸ்கூல், காலேஜ் யூ மீட் அகேன், Once you start going to work, he has his own life, his family. Like you still can't expect him to hang out with you on a Saturday night to have a cool beer or something. He would want to be with his kids, whereas you are single and unmarried, so you can't say he's not my friend anymore. So you have to understand like people's life change, they have to move on. So அதை புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம் அந்த கனெக்ட் மெயின்டைன் பண்ணுறது ரேர் தான். பட் ஐ do have people in my life, even if I don't talk to them for more than several months or even years, I see them randomly. If I talk to them, it don't be like I didn't talk to them for such a long time. The same connect will be there. Like instantaneously, it will be like I've been sharing with them everything or something. They would feel happy for me and vice versa. So, but some people, even if you don't talk for several days, the connect will be lost. So that is how I demarcate. Like certain things, we can feel it naturally. Like you need not put in so much of effort to make sure that they realize you're a valuable or a person who needs to be prioritized. It occurs naturally through time.
Yeah, so, but that's a good point that we can expand upon. Certain people we just connect with immediately or within a very short span of time, and that connect lasts. And with certain people, no matter how hard we try, there is something that is just not clicking. And if you just see them every week or every month, then there's just no possibility of you growing closer to each other. So, do you have an answer for it? Like, is it just all, certain people just click better with each other than others?
Maybe that's how the universe works. So I believe in how universe works. So yeah, I feel like even if it's not like we find similarities, I might be interested in sports. My friend might be interested completely in technology and stuff. But still, we can talk for hours and hours, even if you don't share the same ground. So it's not entirely about finding similarities and uplifting.
Yeah, that's a good point to make. It's not just about getting similarities, finding the common ground to break the ice between in the relationship, in the friendship. Yeah, I think it is more or less the same for me. But then again, I also think about how it is very easy for certain people to make friends.
Socially outgoing and stuff.
For me, it has always been tough for me to initiate making friends. So, whatever friend circles I've had in the past and whatever I have in the present as well, it's all me being passive, very passive, to the point where many friends made my house the hub of our interaction. So usually it used to be like in school times, after school got over, they would come to my home, stay in my home until 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, sometimes even 9 or 10, when things called for it or when we just felt like it. They would stay at my home and then they would leave. But during school time and even during college, I've never taken the initiative, at least not as much. If my friends came to my house and took the initiative 90% of the time, I would have taken it 10% of the time. So I was a very passive person in that regard. But then again, I found it difficult to initiate these conversations because not with everybody. With some people, it's easier. As you said, maybe it just clicks better because the universe has designed certain relationships to be better than others. But most of the time, I found myself very laid back or very hesitant or very disinterested, sometimes hesitant, sometimes disinterested, sometimes nonchalant. But most of the time, it is not me, forging the friendship. I would play a part, but then again, it requires more from them than I put in to maintain it, at least in the initial phases. So I guess since childhood, that has become a part of me. I wouldn't say it is a flaw as such, because it doesn't impeded me in doing certain things. If I need to make certain connections for certain reasons, certain transactional reasons, I can make a small talk. I can talk with them. I can establish myself, introduce myself, build rapport. Everything is there. But as a friendship, building and maintaining a friendship, for me, I've seen other people do it with a very large circle, but for me, it clicks with a very, very, very few people. Very few people. Even people I've known for years, I can't talk to. I couldn't talk to them freely. But for certain rare types of people, whom I've known for just a short period of time, I could click with them. So I feel like that's an enigma for me. At least how it clicks for certain people, but for other people, it just doesn't click no matter how much you try. And then the question that I asked for you, recent times I've come to understand what a true friend is more than in the past. And I feel like, yeah, loyalty is very, very, very important and is at the crux of any relationship. And in friendships, it is no different. For me, it is no different. Loyalty comes first. So, and putting in the trust in the other person. So, no matter what other people say, or no matter what you hear about the other person, no matter what you see, if a person makes it a point to at least confront you about it, or to trust their instincts and to have faith in you, I feel like that's a very, very good show of friendship. And recent times, I feel like that has been my way to discriminate between people who are actually loyal to me, people who are actual friends, versus people who are there, acquaintances or just friends. So right now, I feel like that's moving on. Even in the future, I would say that is a very key point that I will be looking for in people before I really call them my friend.
So I want you to give me a number of like the number of friends you think you had 1.5 years ago or 1 year ago, and the number of friends you think you actually have right now. So 1 year ago, how many friends did you actually think you were having, and right now, how much do you think you're having? What number would it be? Comparative cross-sectional study.
Cross sectional, it's
Sorry.
a cohort.
Okay, cool. Cross. Oh, yeah,
I
study.
remember my research terms were, I think it's a cohort study, yeah.
நான் கிராஸ் செக்ஷனல் பண்றேன் அதனால அப்படியே சொல்லிட்டேன்.
So either way, yeah, 1.5 year, 1.5, அவ்வளவு கூட
சரி
போகல. It's like
இல்ல
6
நான்
months
கேக்குறேன்
back.
1 year முன்னாடி how many friends
Sorry,
did you
okay,
had?
like 1 year
Just
back.
give a
Give
number.
a review of 1 year back or whatever.
Review just a number of how many friends you had. You think you had. You thought you had.
What? Obviously, I'm not going to count them all right now. But
There is
there is still,
obviously just random like a range. That's it. It's not like
the range would
ரமேஷ்
be,
முரேஷ் முருகேஷ் இந்த காந்தா ஈட்டு அப்படின்னா கேட்கல. 10 பேர் இருந்தாங்க, 5 பேர், 2 பேர், 15 to 20 அந்த மாதிரி கேட்குற ஒரு ரேஞ்ச்.
so my range past year, a year back would have been what?
நான் பாடி கவுண்ட் கேட்குற
10,
மாதிரி யோசிச்சுட்டு
10.
இருக்கேன்.
Because I am struggling to remember how much was in the gang. So
Just 10 last year.
if
Pretty
you
sure it must have been more than 10 anyways.
like, so that's the demarcation that I want to make. There are multiple friends who I still have right now, who I can still contact, but as friends who I bonded with, who I really confided in, who I had experiences in, both good and ugly experiences with, those things round out a friendship. So for me, I am digressing, but I really want to explain. So I do have certain friends from school the times that are still good friends to me right now, because they still try to contact me, they still try to keep up with me. There are those types of friends, but then there are friends who I've had decade-long relationships with, who I've had so many experiences with, that it just becomes so that's the point where you can be like, that they are like my brothers, they are like my family.
Brother from another mother.
Something. Essentially what I'm trying to say is, there were certain amount of people who I've had so many experiences with, who I've had shared so many moments with, there's so many feelings with, that they transcend being just a friend. Transcended for in the past. So abdi, when we look at it in that way, I would say around, let's say at a max it was 10 to 15.
No.
Now I would say on the same regardல வைக்கணும்னா not experiences obviously because I have shared a lot of things, I have shared a lot of people, I have shared a lot of friends, but based on loyalty and based on how comfortable I feel with the other person, how I trust the other person, I would say basically, obviously we're counting friends, we are not counting brothers or siblings or whatever. Friends ன்னு பார்த்தா I would say just one. So that's how drastic it has been.
வெறும் ஒன்னே ஒன்னா.
Not the same person from, and exactly the point being, it's not none of the 10 to 15 past year. It's an entirely fresh thing, and it is just one.
என்ன சொல்ற? யார் அது ஒருத்தர்? ரெண்டு பேர் இல்ல?
ரெண்டு பேரா? எந்த ரெண்டு பேரு?
இல்ல ஒருத்தர்னா நம்ம ஒரே ஒருத்தர்.
ஆக்சுவலா பார்த்தனா I would genuinely trust this person. I'm actually very comfortable with this person. They are not being disloyal to me, or they are not like, you know, showing a face to me while showing another face to others.
இல்ல என்னையும் வந்தாடி ஒருத்தர் யோசிங்க.
நான் இப்ப அந்த டிஸ்க்ளைமர் தானே நான் சொன்னேன் இப்போ.
ஓகே ஓகே சாரி bro.
அதுதான் சொன்னேன், இட்ஸ் நாட் அபவுட் பிரதர்ஸ் ஆர் சிப்லிங்ஸ் ஆர் whatever. It's about the pure and the quote unquote friend சொன்னா ஒண்ணு.
ஓகே 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 அந்த பர்சன் ஓகே.
So yeah. ஸோ அது ஏன் ரேஞ்சாக இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ லாஸ்ட் இயர்னா ஆக்சுவலி it's a drastic change because it has been that range for many years. I would say at least a decade. That's why I keep saying decade-long friendships and all that. But suddenly
the count dropped
to a mere one, which is I feel actually very comfortable with that. And even if it was zero, I wouldn't mind being that person who has no true friends.
All by myself.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind being a person who had no true friends, but I'm really glad that I at least have one good friend who I can.
I wouldn't say they weren't true. At that point, they were true. After that,
things changed.
The truth vanished. Maybe.
Yeah. Because confrontations will keep happening. Bad things will keep on coming. Things will keep on coming to test your friendships, and that's the same with any kind of relationship. And one such thing came up, and things failed and things crumbled, and that's how I ended up here with me saying I have one good friend. But then again, how is it different for you? You say every year you lost a friend, every year there were breakups, every year there were betrayals. But was there a range?
I would say up until 3 or 4 years ago, it was around 3 digits. Now it's
3 digits.
Yeah.
3 ciphers for it.
Ciphers, 3
digits.
101, 100. அது கூட 3 digits தானே.
Exactly. Like 3 ciphers போட்டா it's 4 digits. Okay. 2 ciphers போட்டா அந்த மாதிரி.
I had a big circle. But at present, if you ask me, it's single digit. Actually, that is a fact. It dropped from 3 digits.
Even beyond me, yours is a drastic change.
And that was because I started to focus on myself, and I came to know most people didn't even care for my progress or whatever. Just for that days or that evening's fun, they expected me to be there. So, at the time, my friends and I. So, yeah, digits have certainly dropped. But it's currently at single digit. I'm happy and I'm good with that.
So, to my understanding, I feel like more than them betraying you, or more than them, like those 100 friends betraying you, it's more like you coming to understand how they are not actually friends, and how
not everyone betrayed. Maybe like 1/10 of those. The other stuff, I would have walked out in most cases also. So even if I walked out, it's not like essentially they should like ask the reason or something. But if they legit don't give fish about you to be noted. Effort is replaced by fish here. So அந்த மாதிரி தான். ஸோ போக போக புரியும் போது நம்ம ஒன்று பண்ணும் போது தெரிஞ்சு ரியலைஸ் பண்ணுறது தான் யார் உண்மையிலே ஹார்ட்ஷிப்ஸில் இருப்பாங்க. மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் டைம்ஸ் தனியாக இருந்து கற்றுக்கிறதும் ஒரு பெரிய லெசன் தான். In there it's gonna be just you, no one else.
Exactly. Even if it's somebody intimated, at the end it's going to be just you. But the journey is still going to be there, and it's never for you to walk the path alone. And you're not going to let others walk the path alone.
Just see it as good memories, like passing clouds and so long. Like everyone will be there.
Passing clouds is like say bad connotation, bad implication.
Okay, maybe like ஒரு friend like ஒரு person or a human basically ஒரு point of time இருந்து போறது for a certain reason, like some experience you gain from it, they teach you a lesson. Thing is you need not repeat this same mistake and learn the lesson twice. ஒரு வாட்டி கத்துக்கிட்டா போதும். So it's not like they taught you something, that's all. You can't hate that person for that. Maybe at the time you were very imbecile for that or something.
Maybe you had to learn it to become better. However,
and I feel like I have become better now. So have you. So it has indeed molded. What if those things never happened?
Yeah, we would still be the same people, believing certain friends to be real when they aren't, when they weren't. But ultimately, yeah, my stance on being a friend is you have to be as real as possible. Of course, you can put it in certain ways that is not very blunt. Because you actually care for them, you can sit down with them and you can talk through anything. But at the end of the day, it's about you being real to the other person whom you call a friend. So, no matter how uncomfortable it may be, sometimes you have to make it as uncomfortable as required in order to get the other person to become a better person. So yeah, the other concept being accepting them for who they are. I would say that has become so overused and that has become so abused actually, because it's wrongly used. Accepting them for who they are is basically accepting their fundamentals. Like it's accepting their soul.
Daily குடிச்சிட்டு he's an alcoholic. He's my friend, he's a drunkard, so what? I love him for the way he daily drinks. If he daily drinks, he's gonna die after certain years or maybe 2 decades.
Exactly, same thing. If you have an obese friend and then you go tell another person, I accept them for who they are, you shouldn't be proud of it, because you are accepting a flaw that can be changed.
Most people are proud of it. எவ்வளோ பண்ணாலும் நான் இப்படி இருப்பேன்.
Exactly. No matter how bad they are, no matter how lazy they are, no matter how unmotivated they are, the simple fact that you accept them for the waste of a potential that they are is somehow being prided upon.
If you see the moral of the podcast, if you are watching this, if you have a friend who you think can change certain things which might just change his future for real, go to them, tell them, like we spoke about obesity and like maybe alcoholic and addiction and stuff, not just that, every aspect of life. If you think they are talented in this, they can outwork many people, perform better, but something which is dragging them down, you can tell them this is a dragging factor. So you need to give them the harsh reality, like a taste of the reality, even if it's very bitter. Else they were brought to hell. So it's not like you're the guardian angel, but instead of being that fake angel, you can be a neutral, like what is it, a neutral person. Neutral. Don't be a lukewarm friend.
Exactly. Being a lukewarm friend is also
எனக்கு என்னப்பா பிரச்சனை அப்படின்னா அவன் பண்றது பண்ணிட்டு போட்டோம், கால் பண்ணா போதும்.
Then you're not a friend. Then you're literally really not a friend. Yeah, you just know them. Like you.
நான் இப்படி சொல்லிட்டேன், மற்ற எனக்கு கூட மாட்டேன்னா கூட தேவையில்லை. அவனுக்கு அது புரிஞ்சுக்கிறலன்னா அந்த இடத்துல எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ்மெண்ட்டே தேவையில்லை ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப். ஸோ ஐ ஹோப் இஃப் சம்திங் இஸ் கோயிங் ஆன் லைக் தட், யூ கைஸ் வுட் சேஞ்ச் இட், அண்ட் வி ஆர் ஆக்சுவலி பீன் டூயிங் தட். ஸோ I think we have the rights to say that we are following that, so it's not like hypocrisy like
If
how
you
most
ask
people
any
do.
of our friends, they do feel uncomfortable. But I feel like they also know that
Pretty sure the
it comes
stuff
from a
we
place of
told.
concern. It comes from a place of a genuine wish for the other person to better themselves. And it's important to say that we are not the chiding or the friends. We are not the scolding them. We are not advising them because we think we are better than them. It's because we see a potential in them that can be improved upon. We see a potential in our friends that we really want to bring out. And I think in any relationship, be it a friendship, a significant other, a mother, a father, a brother, whoever it is, truly, if it is a proper caring relationship, that person should be striving to bring the best out of you in any way, shape, or form. It's obviously it's within your aspects. It's not going to be like make your friends musicians overnight or make your friends
என்னப்பா கிட்டார் வாசிப்பா
because you love the music or art. You don't. You have to make your friends love music or art. Nothing like that.
உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கத திணிக்காதீங்க, அவங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கத பண்றதுக்கான ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுங்க.
Nurture. Exactly. A good friendship, at least in my regard right now, is one that nurtures whatever you have, that brings out whatever you have, that emboldens you to act upon whatever you have.
What if you have nothing? What will they bring out?
Then at least
சில பேர்
that's a
வந்து
good
எனக்கு
point.
டேலண்ட் இல்லாத எனக்கு தான் பிடிக்காது.
That's a really good point. A good friendship also lets you explore your talents. Also lets you try new things.
Not just exploring fancy restaurants or just
exactly. It's not just about checking the item lists from your destinations.
Hey,
daily streak keeping a snap streak or whatever.
நிறைய பேர் தாக்கப்படுறாங்க, பரவாயில்ல.
See, that is what friendship was, and now it has been convoluted into
ஸ்டோரியில போடலாம்னா அடிச்சுக்கிறாங்க.
Exactly. It has become so superficial that
caption mentions
you have to be the close friends in Instagram.
Green color என்ன எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் தெரியாது, நான் இந்த விஷயத்துல பூமர். பட் ஸ்டில்
you have to wish them every year for their birthday.
Birthday wish பண்ணலாம், அப்படியே உலகமே இடிஞ்சு போற மாதிரி.
Not just birthdays, every occasion, New Year, Christmas, wish பண்ணலனா oh you forgot about me.
அதான் எப்ப விஷ் பண்ணோம்? 12, not 12/1, should be sharp 12. Happy Diwali my friend. நீ சொல்லனா அவன் பட்டாசு வெடிக்காத. இல்ல நியூ இயர்க்குலாம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் விஷ், செகண்ட் விஷ், இப்பெல்லாம் டாப் 10 விஷ். அது இந்த ட்ரெயின் மாதிரி ஸ்டோரி போடுறது. தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் யூ விஷஸ், தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் யூ விஷ். attention seeking.
I really hope people
conversation இப்ப enlighten ஆன மாதிரி இருக்கு. இப்படி
are not that naive, or at least that
I think like most people are like that, and now they have started to realize it's too much of a cliche. Like இந்த ட்ரெயின் மாதிரி ஸ்டோரி போடுறதும் தேங்க்யூ சொல்றதும் பிரைவேட்டா வச்சுக்க தான் நிறைய பேர் ட்ரை பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கிறாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். லைக் இந்த ஸ்ட்ரீக்கை விட்டுட்டு
even then it's superficial, because without those fundamentals, even if you try to keep a close circle, it will fall apart. So ultimately, being a friend is about, in a sentence, it's about nurturing each other.
Maybe we can add this about like just about the expectations part. Like if something happens in that person's life, அது வந்துட்டு என்கிட்ட அவங்க ஷேர் பண்ணணும். இப்போ எனக்கு ஒருத்தர் இருக்காங்க தெரிஞ்சவங்க, அவங்க வந்துட்டு எனக்கு இன்டர்வியூவில் செலக்ட் ஆகிட்டாங்க, கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்டை ஏதோ ரிங் என்கேஜ் பண்ணிக்கலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டா, கரியரில் சம்திங் லைக் தட், கார் வாங்கிட்டாங்க. உடனே என்கிட்ட வந்து சொல்லணும்னு எதிர்பார்த்துட்டு சொல்லாமல் 2 வாரம் பார்த்து வந்து சொல்கிறாங்கன்னா, 2 நாள் பொறுத்து அன்னைக்கு சொல்கிறதுக்கு இது இல்லை, டைம் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ண முடியல. லைக் டோன்ட் டிவேட் த ட்ராக் லைக் தட். எல்லாமே சொல்லலாம், எல்லாமே எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணணும். லெட் தேம் ஹேவ் தேர் ஓன் லைஃப். வந்து சொன்னாங்கன்னா, if you're genuinely happy for them, be happy for them. Tell them that you're happy for that. Congratulate. Don't bring it down to a point. It's been 3 days since you achieved that. Why didn't you tell me? So I'm not a good friend to you. You're not my true friend. நீ வந்துட்டு பண்ண உடனே இது காப்பாற்றிக்கிறதுக்காகவே இன்னைக்கு இது 12 o'clock இந்த மெயில் வருது, 11:15 எனக்கு ப்ரோ ஐம் கோனா கெட் திஸ் மெயில் அனுப்பிச்சிட்டு ஐ காட் செலக்டட் at 12 சொல்றது இல்லை. Don't set up scenarios in such a way you can point out the other person's fault by saying I am being a good informative friend who shares everything, but whereas you are not, you are a very like private kind of a person.
Exactly. I feel like people judge friendships on these superficial aspects, as being on time to inform, being on time to wish, being on time to snap back, being on time to reply, whatever it may be. At the essence, the proper way to judge a friendship, the proper way to hold on, I mean, like the proper way to scrutinize a friendship is looking at the fundamentals that we have been talking about all this while: loyalty, trust, and care, and genuine care at that. Being genuinely happy, being happy without being, without having any resentment or without having any sense of jealousy. You're genuinely being happy seeing them win. Then I feel like that is the highest form of friendship. And no, that won't be the highest form of friendship. Working with them, giving them whatever they
A
need.
good form,
Yeah,
not a higher form, bro.
yeah. So they're giving them whatever they require and pushing them to win, and then being genuinely happy when they do win. I feel like that is the actual process of friendship that we should be looking at, instead of maintaining a 365-day snap streak.
Maybe with an example, I can say the digits of my friendship from 3 digit to single digit. Right now, I'm a type of person who I don't feel like sharing all the things which happen 24/7 with another person, even if it's one among the single digit. It's not like I bought something today. I actually bought something today. I need not send them a pic or something. The next day, if they see it in person, they might ask, then I would say. Or I myself might tell them. If not, if they are like, oh, you're not telling me stuff, but I'm telling you, not gonna last for me. It didn't last. That's why it just crumbled and came down to a single digit. And the people amongst the list of like what 7 or 8 the single digit, like they don't understand that. That's why it's still sustaining. It's not like they're picky about asking things. They know okay, he likes to keep things private. So when I want to say, I'm gonna say. If I don't feel like saying, don't try to get the shit out of people to say and call it friendship. எல்லாம் என்கிட்ட சொல்லிட்டான் அவ்வளோ நம்பிக்கை இருக்கு. சொல்றதுனால நம்பிக்கை இருக்குன்னு இல்லை, முதல்ல சொல்லாமலே இருக்கலாம். அவங்க மைண்ட் செட் அவங்களுக்கு தனியாக இருக்கலாம்னு தோணலாம். ஸோ if you can't try to understand the person, at least try to remain subtle and just let it run instead of trying to always have a like upper hand in the friendship, like saying you didn't wish me last year, so I'm not going to wish you this year. He might have been going through something last year. He might have lost his phone. That because he didn't wish you, like don't find an excuse to do the same and afflict the pain to that person and then say it's equalized. If you're genuinely a good person, you won't equalize or inflict the pain on that person. So yeah, that's the moral of the podcast. Conclusion: go to your friend, say those things right to their face. Again, take obesity itself. சொல்லுங்க, நீ குண்டா இருக்க, அவ்வளோதான். குண்டு கலாய்க்கிறதுலாம் இல்லை. ஸோ மற்றவங்க சொல்றதுனால இல்லை, அவங்கள விட்டுரு. Like for your own good, it will ruin your health in long term as well. Your career, your sedentary lifestyle is not good for you. Your systems will shut down. Whatever it is, you might have like RA, OA, like OA. Arthritis might develop because you're obese. So it will be good for them. Even if you stop talking to the friend because of that, just know 20 years later he might be thankful. Even if not, that's not the case. He's actually gonna be a good, healthy human being who's gonna support his family, be with his family. So that should actually make you feel good. உங்களுக்கு அந்த ரெக்கக்னிஷன் கிடைக்கணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. எல்லா ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்பில் அவங்க மேல் நல்லா இருக்கணும்னு நினச்சா நீங்கள் இல்லாத இடத்துல அவங்க நல்லா இருந்தாலும் பி ஹாப்பி ஃபார் தம். தட் இஸ் வாட் ஐ ஃபீல் இஸ் அ குட் ஷிப், தட் இஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப்.
Yeah. In any aspect, shape, or form, whether it be physical health or mental health or their career or their interests or whatever it is, if you they truly push beyond the awkwardness or discomfort and actually be a good friend, regardless of whether you gain recognition for it, when you do it without requiring or without expecting any sort of recognition, I feel like that is actual proper friendship right there, plain and simple. So yeah.
But not just like you can't expect the other person to change daily. You know how hard it is to change a single thing in your life. You have struggled so hard to come off that addiction which you had last year or 6 months ago, even which I had. I can't expect him to change because of the love and care and the motivation I'm providing. So yeah, it's ultimately the person's intrinsic motivation, desire, like the zeal to be or stay disciplined. Maybe that can be the next topic, like self improvement, discipline, betterment of lifestyle, like how to stay focused and stuff. Eventually, we're getting a topic at the end of every podcast.
Yes, even if we don't, we'll find something.
பரவாயில்ல, கடவுள் அந்த மாதிரி சொல்றாரு. It's a sign of nature and God. So
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll end here.
so yeah, we'll conclude with that. Go to your friend and talk to them. Not just talk. Help them to achieve a better life.
Exactly.
அவர் யாரோ சொல்லுவாரு, பெட்டர் சிட்டிசன் பெட்டர் நேஷன் சொல்லிட்டு யூடியூப்ல. தெரியல, இதெல்லாம் எடிட் பண்ணிடலாம் அப்படின்னு சும்மா சொன்ன போட்டுடலாம்.